Hey, so if you've got a Neato vacuum, this is the XV-12 that we've got here. And what happened is I was getting the code saying that the roller brush was stuck. And I took it apart and cleaned the brush because they get hair wound around here and you'll get hair wound around here. And that's just by removing this. Well, that wouldn't solve it. So I had to get down to the motor. And the motor is really not a very serviceable piece. So this is actually going to be the video of putting it back together, which to take it apart is going to be very much very similar, just in the opposite direction. But this is the motor, and I want to kind of show you what I had found is that you can kind of see the little shaft right there to the motor just before the little sprocket. The belt goes on that. It's a little Kevlar belt, and you really don't need to replace these. It's supposed to last for the length of, because you can see it's a toothed belt. Now, the problem we had is that area was so impacted with hair and different things that it was really tough to turn. Now I'm hoping that it will now work, but we have to put it all back together, and that includes, you know, putting the cover back onto it. We've got some sensors, front sensors, side sensors that we have to get the little things on, and we have a variety of different screws. There's really only 3 different size screws in this configuration. This one basically is the ones that hold the cover on, this one holds the bottoms on, and these a couple of special ones. One was for the motor, and these 2 are for holding a piece on I probably didn't need to take apart. So I'll be putting this back together and showing you how we do that. Now the first thing we need to do is the motor will be mounting right back in this area. So we have to put our little shield back on it. And it has the 2 little screws. These are another size screw that kind of stayed with the shield, so I'm just going to keep them in the shield. So the first thing we need to do is get our little belt back on, and then put our little shield on there. I want to have it so that the wires have to come out towards the front side of it. So we're going to rotate this around until the wires are coming out kind of towards the front more. And then we will tighten the 2 screws. And this project is definitely one you want to have a magnetic tip screwdriver available. Then the belt will pass, there's a little hole right down in here behind this sensor. And you'll want to pass that belt on through. And making sure to keep clear of the wires and such. And then once it's into place, then you will see that there is a screw that goes right here, which we have over here. And we'll just use our magnetic tip screwdriver to help with getting it in there. Now the motor is back in, so that's really all for that part of it. Now we have all of these little clips, and these little clips with the sensor clips and you're seeing the little cat hair and dog hair from years of this running around our floors here. But these little clips have to be put back into place. And I'm a little concerned about these. These could be a little tough to get lined up, but we're gonna give it a shot and hope for the best, because these little clips are really what make the magic of the vacuum happen. Okay, they seem to all be engaged. Now all of the screws, I'll show you. These are the 2 that I didn't need to take apart. And I'm just gonna put those in right away because, well, I don't want to lose them. But these 2 were under the dust pan on the XV-12. So I didn't need to remove those 2. Everything needed to happen on the bottom. So I'm just going to kind of hold it together and flip it over. And now we'll get to work on this side of the unit. Now that has the little wheels, and one of the common problems is that there's a spring down on these little wheels, and I'll just kind of pop this up and show you. If you can see in there, there's a spring down in there, and many times the spring will break up inside there, and that's where the wheel won't function, and then to a point that spring clips onto a little piece on the frame, and if it's broken, you're pretty much done with the unit. But if it's still working, you're good. So you have to put this kind of down, and then we snap the axle back into its place. Take that down, axle goes back into its place, and now we are good there. And we'll turn this around, and we will get to the front screws. Now again, these are all pretty much the ones that handle the cover, the top, and then these were the ones associated with the bottom, and you can see that there's a little bit of a difference in size. So we put those in. Now we'll put the bottom part of the front bumper on, making sure that all 4 switches are still functioning. Now we have a couple more that we need to hit. There should be 5 screws left. We're going to hit one here in this spot right ahead of the wheel. Then there's a spot right behind the wheel, right up in here. If you guys can see that, right up in there, you can see kind of the groove. And then there's one in the middle. So there actually more than that. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 screws remaining. So let's get on that. And of course, this is the one where it was broken down here, and here I am trying to put another screw in where it was broken, which isn't going to work. So I can pop the wheel assembly up a little bit to get to it. And there should be 2 left for installing at the very back. And then we'll line up this back kind of grid area is just a set in place. There's no clips or anything on that, just making sure it's there and no wires are bound or anything. Then we can put the motor assembly back in. The motor assembly is basically just riding on 3 pins, and then it has its power and control capabilities here. So I make sure to plug that in, line it up on its 3 pins, making sure the gasket that's needed for this is all set and secure. And now we're down to 8 remaining screws, which hold the bottom cover. And now we're up to the point of putting the batteries in and then putting the battery covers on. Now it's kind of an important step to do at the beginning to remove the batteries, because we don't want to have any excitement. This is a 12 volt based system, and it will give you quite a little shock if you are not doing it right. I have these backwards. And it doesn't matter if they're left or right, it's just that the wires are bent a certain way, so it would make more sense to have them as they were. And then the final part of putting this all back together before snapping the pieces back, as you hear, it's back, it's alive. We put on our battery covers. So if you were going to be replacing the batteries on the Neato, which these are replacement batteries, this is probably the third set of batteries we've had on this. This particular robot, we've had this over 5 years, easily 5 years, and it has had 3 sets of batteries, and it did have to go in to service. And I think when it went into service, it really needed, it was early on, and I think it just needed a new set of batteries, but I didn't know any better at the time. It was malfunctioning, so I thought, service center it goes. But since then it's done similar things, and we've just replaced the batteries, and then it's good to go for quite a period of time. The learning cycle. I'll put a link in the description to the batteries, by the way, because all batteries for the Neatos are not created equal. The first set that I purchased off Amazon was not that great, and the second and third set have been very good. Now, the last couple of parts here is to put the roller back in, and again, it's still kind of dirty. I'm going to clean it up a little bit more, but the roller, if you're going to be replacing a roller, it's really kind of simple on these. Is that you have your little belt, you kind of put it in on the belt, the sprocket, and you can kind of rotate this, and it'll pull that belt right up and over. Then you line up the little pin, kind of get it up into its little slot area, and that's actually where the bearing is. Once you have that on, it usually kind of comes in there pretty easy. There we go. And then you just drop in the other side, and then you have your belt. Hair gets wound around here, hair gets in here and in here, and as at the beginning of it I showed you the spot on the motor where hair gets kind of wound around. I'm just putting it back together here because I want to go test it out and see if our fix is going to do it, because this was not functioning. It was giving me it would start, it would go to boot, and then it would say that it needed to have the brush. There was something in the brush. So let's take it into the house and see if it will work. All right, here is the moment of truth. I had to put it on the charger for a little while. Let's see if the brush will activate. Yes, it seems to be spinning. It would have kicked out and said that the brush was not able to function. So there it is, kind of the reverse of how to take the Neato vacuum. This is the XV-12 here, an older unit, but that'll give you an idea of what you need to do if you get to the point where that brush, you've cleaned the hair and such out of the brush, but it's wound up around that motor. I used a utility knife and a needle nose pliers and just kind of continued to use the blade to kind of cut through that hair that was twisted around that shaft. And it over time, it took time, just a slow process, but I was able to cut enough and then pull and cut and pull, and that hair and lint and things that were twisted around that little shaft on that motor you saw at the beginning of the video right here, that finally I got it to the point it was clean, and now everything runs just absolutely fine. This is John Young. Thank you for watching.
For more tips and how-to videos, go to weekendhandyman.com.